Hello everyone. Welcome into some Final Fantasy XIV. I thought we'd play a little bit of 14 for the first time in a long while, as I have just finally made it to Endwalker. So I thought we'd play a little bit of the story here from the beginning. If you know, you may realize I'm already somewhat in here. So yeah, I already did the first. I did the first 2 quests of it already, but you know, from there on. What did the text-to-speech say? Wingly Panda, thank you for the follow. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of jump over from here. So basically what happened was we left from Lims on a ship, and then got over here to old Chalayan, and then Krau showed us around the town. That was it. But now, yeah, we're gonna figure out what this is all about, because I guess, well, we're trying to get the studio to help us and figure out why they don't want to help us. That's the story so far. Looks like your name is Andron Door. Yes, it is. It is my name. I guess I'll quickly send my my retainers on their ventures here. Just real quick, some quick ventures. Not even gonna check what they give me. Actually, I'm interested in what that was. Gleam ingot. Is that? Oh, that's okay. That's something I should have already been doing. I don't remember seeing that. in the crafts. But it seemed to be like a master recipe anyway, so... Right, bye. One thing I enjoyed was the fact that you got some Final Fantasy V music over here right away. Of course, because you got like Kryland and the students of Baldesion, so it's you know, Final Fantasy V related. But yeah, this is the inn room apparently, so there's no inn, it's just the Baldesion Annex's room here. Interestingly enough. Hello, Graha. Alright, so we were supposed to go in here for something. Oh. It's an actual area. Maps. That's an old map. That's the new map. I guess this is the, like, newest. Because I suppose this would have been updated for Endwalker, maybe? To include at least this area. And... I think something down here? I'm not sure. But I suppose this is the new map. Box. Who's that? The new map, but just like half of it. I guess this is like the Stormblood new map. Moogle. Got some Koopos. Oh, good King Magomag.
Thank you, Sinath Shaish, for the 29 months resub.
Something.
Did you know that the critically acclaimed MORP Final Fantasy XIV has a free trial that includes the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 with no restrictions on playtime? Sign up and enjoy your year today.
New Year. I did not know. Hello, Sin. Welcome in. We are starting Endwalker, as you can see. I was just looking at these textures. So on one hand, I cannot wait for the 7.0 like graphics update, but on the other hand, I'm also sure it's not actually gonna help with like some of this stuff. Like, what even is this? What's the point of having this texture here if it's just a complete blur? Why? Okay, Kryl, let's go. Story time. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Oriange. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Their what?
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, it simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
Endwalking?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair.
Don't
Her
zoom
missive
in
describes
on the
somewhat
textures.
power, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. It is possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Me?
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
So I can pay more for teleportations?
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
Oh, do we actually choose again
And thereby gain
where to
access
start
to a
in?
greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alize and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Nardus. All right. So we might be able to choose where to go. So Razatan is, I think, yep, we get to choose. Razatan, I think, is the place where you do the crafting stuff in this expansion. But I also kind of want to know what's going on in here. Who to choose? I mean, I could probably accept them both, but you know, I think we'll start with Kryl and Sharlayan here. Horse chestnut foot gear. So I have I forget, did I craft this or did I buy it? No, I did buy it. I bought some 580 gear for myself when I hit level 90 back in like the previous expansion. I went shopping for some better gear. So I've got this classical Medicus set here. I think the cane was actually a 610 because I think it was actually a little bit cheaper. I can craft some of that stuff myself, but I will have to kind of... Well, the problem is that I've had to hold off again with crafting because I haven't had access to the areas. That's the main reason to the main quest, is to open up new areas so that I can collect new stuff, so that I can craft new stuff. Hitting the books. An unsettling change has come over Sharlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the councillors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Sharlayan's archive on historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that their progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Okay, bye! I guess we'll talk to Thancred as well. Amra Lassie. But I get some food if I go over here. But it's further away. What? Cutscene? I have Kryl's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnir before, I can travel by Aetheryte. But what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryl was of the same mind and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest? I'm afraid so, my friend. Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbreeder. Okay, so Moonbreeder's from that group, then, I guess. And Urianger, maybe? Mubrida was an authority on ethorology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Wait, hold on, go back, Oranger. Did you just say like two? Okay, not quite, no. But this. No, wait, yes, because this is the previous one. Oranger, you're talking too normal. Fix it right now. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. Okay, that's like a little bit closer, but it's still like, why is Oranger talking so normal all of a sudden? As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. If it's too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kit. I will not. I like that the cutscene shows me walking off with them, but then I'm just alone in here. All alone. Anyways, yeah, I think we'll stay here in Sharlayan. So over here. I like this place. It looks cool. It's got a little bit of that sort of like, it's strange because it's kind of a on one hand there's a lot of like empty space here, so distances between places are a bit long, but then again it's also supposed to be like a big settlement, so it also kind of makes sense. And besides, people like to, you know, sit under trees and stuff in this game, so side quests. Oh, blue quests. I think that's actually the hunt thing for this. Well, let's go over here. I'll have to remember to pick that up. So that we can get, I don't know what we'll get. Probably not nuts anymore. Sacks of something else. Hello. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenor, Sharlayan's grandest collection of books and tomes. Nut sacks? No. No nuts. How many nuts do I have? Oh, I can't open my nut menu right now. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that, for the archives of Numenor extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the great Gubal library pale in comparison to Numenor's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Sharlayan is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I have dispatched Istola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alize and Alphanode will help me continue my research through the stacks open to the general public. Why would you say Istola and Raha, and not like Stola and Raha or Istola and Graha? Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Sharlayan history or foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we are looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they've found some promising tomes. Happy reading! So, I sort of am here just kind of... They'll be doing all the real work, and I'm just here to, you know, read a couple of books. I've never been here. Yeah, I'm like looking at a brightly colored book. Yes. Very good. The title on the spine reads The Story of Sharlayan. Read the book? Sure. Long, long ago, on an island in the northern sea, there lived a rugged man by the name of Nunkreft. Nunkreft was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for the imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror and strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nunkraft's crew hauled them aboard his ark, but the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nunkraft wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Avalathia's spine. Okay, so that's how it ended up there. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. They started eating each other. Saddened by the sight, Nunkraft gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time it became the city of Sharlayan we live in to this day. What about the other Sharlayan? Red-covered book. Yes, that sounds very promising. Roads of Old, the colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Taliak in the Dravanian hinterlands, the Sharlayan colony once thrived. The settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the Ethereal Sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Sharlayans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Sharlayan colony. Eorzean residents took to call the colony itself Sharlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussion turned to the subject of the motherland. In response, some Sharlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. The following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain additional information of the Forum, or cover the history of Sharlayan, motherland in greater detail. Okay. Now that I'm off the phone. Kral calls Raha because she has a more personal relationship with him than Ishtola. He dropped the try with familiarity, and yes, Kral is familiar with Ishtola through science, but she's known Graha much longer as a student of Baldessian. Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm pretty sure, like, I'm pretty sure that Kral actually does call Ishtola at some point as well. A leather-bound tome. Those are good. The voice of a growing city. In the years which followed the founding of Sharlayan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. The larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the 6th Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Sharlayan would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Forum as we know it today conceived and created. None of the Scions usually call it Stola, at least not publicly. You know, that's reserved for me. I think it's... I feel like it's Kral. Somebody at least has definitely referred to Stola as like Stola when speaking to me before, but yeah, I mean, I guess they also are afraid that Ishtola is gonna kill them, so you know. A blue covered book. An introduction to the heavens. This does not sound like it's relevant. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but of the vastness beyond, of the sun and the twinkling tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space, yet amongst the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain, in satisfactory detail, why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. Okay, I have to say this because, like, it has bothered me so much throughout this whole game. and because they keep saying it more and more, it's bothering me more and more. Why? Why do they refer to the planet as a star? Why do they speak of this place as a star when they clearly, like, they refer to stars as stars and sun and everything like it's stupid. It's dumb. Stop calling it a star. But I know they will keep doing it because they do, but anyways. It was the technologists of Alag who came closest to understanding the laws which governed the starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past? That their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly, but measurably as we journey into the future? Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart, and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? No. This book is on the wrong subject. Search for works which contain details on the forum. Okay, I know. I wonder if we're gonna... Oops, why did I just do that? I wonder if we're gonna journey into space. Forever 20 summers. What? My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I too once engaged in such foolish practices, but one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra. I am forever 20 summers young. The number itself is unimportant. You could be 19 or 23 or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Through mindful, healthy living will you extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research, another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue. In the pages that follow, we will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from biological, ethereological, and arcane viewpoint. This book is on the wrong subject. Okay. This book is a reference to Stola, who's forever 26. Wait, what did you say? Hello? Say that again. Also, you're a Final Fantasy V scholar. Did you know that? I mean, actually, like, what are you? Are you just like a... Oh wait, are you a mammoth? Wait, you wouldn't be a mammoth if you're a researcher. Well, you're gone. Anyways. Time-worn tome. Stewards of Wisdom. This is probably relevant. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Newcrypt, the founder of Sharlayan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the Northern Empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Sharlayans took to heart the words of their savior, and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. It was a mammoth. Oh yeah, because actually, yeah, I just realized, because I didn't read what they said, but I noticed it had that weird, like, capitalization, like GG's got. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth in coin, and the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Sharlayan would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the stools of war and with knowledge deliver the world. You've gained a fundamental understanding of Sharlayan history and the foundation of the Forum. Head outside. Okay. But there's still one more book. Isn't there? Do you know Newcrypt's Hope? Is that not the name of the arc? Wait, not that. Not this. This. Yeah, it was talking about it in the other book over there. Oh, no more books. Okay. Jajaba. Alright. I found nothing. The more important people will have found something. I bet Stola's found something really important. Sorry, were you waiting long? And I bet Alice did not find anything. I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Half a Note and Crowd should also be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mentioned the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. Study session. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read, and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphinaud and I were to return to Sharlayan, we were not to be allowed across the threshold. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the Forum will perhaps lead to reconciliation. Or then, alternatively, if we wind back to, Heavensward times, when there's a dad who is, not really cooperating, we just kill them. Yeah, that's what we do. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family? Or do they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Sharlayan, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Ilsabad, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvus, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Allegans founded a city in that fertile land and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mikote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvus braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allegan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvus under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years, say yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amuidus. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. House Darnus demonstrated singular interest in Allegan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allegan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born with the Allegan Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends in the students of Baldessian, who had me registered as a Sharlayan citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. And even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louisoix, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Sharlayans than you might think. Yet, regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity, we outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Here, another good reason to get to the bottom of the Forum's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. So these two really honestly just they just failed the assignment. They just picked up the first books they could find because the others have not come back yet. Excuse us while we try to make some headway to these books today. More company should be arriving any moment now. Okay, so it's you can take breaks between the cutscenes if you want. With a Moogle dance. We have a Moogle person. wave to the Moogle person. Pumpkin pottage. Matcha. No. Mushroom saute. Which is which, Boogle? We returned with our selections. Although I must say, the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Kral has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the Umbral calamities, as well as articles written by the prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Omorot firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details. My thanks. Now where to begin? I still haven't gotten over the fact that they made Kryla Lalafell, who is, you know, young, but then acts like they're 40. First things first, what kind of phenomenon did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? Oh no, it's a pop quiz! A complete destabilization of creation magics, primals of unrivaled power were summoned from the ether, the worst kind of phenomenon you can imagine. Yeah. I'll say, one does seem a little bit more useful here, though. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Ishtola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Ashians. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? The entire star was engulfed by disaster all at once. They say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Alphador, you can answer this one. I actually don't remember a mention of a sound. Did they say something about a sound? Could be. The entire star was engulfed by disaster all at once. I think you may be misremembering. As I recall, it was more of a gradual spread. What? Oh, yeah, actually, I just realized the question. I misunderstood the question. I was like... I was thinking about, you know, like the what we saw in the dungeon, the Amarot dungeon, like, you know, fire raining down from the sky and everything. Shut up, Alphonor. The Amarotines spoke of a keening sound that rose from the land itself just before a region was visited by catastrophe. We never did hear the sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness. So the ground was crying out, you say? To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive, and probably quite loud. I have to speak with one of Numenon's mammoths and ask after any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They summoned Zodiac, they summoned Hydaelyn, they knocked Dalamud from the sky. They summoned Zodiac first, and then Hydaelyn. Don't approve me, Arfanor. Yes, with Elidipus serving as his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiac brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiac, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Venant and her fellows not manifested their opposition in the form of Hydaelyn. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophori truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let's return our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but this time we began studying these research papers. That was actually, I think that was a really good way of incorporating a, as you know kind of thing. Because for me, obviously I played like that stuff within like the past couple of weeks. But that would have been, I don't know, like a year-old stuff or something when this stuff came out. I guess we're waiting for Y'shtola to come in with the solution to all our problems. Oh yeah, Alphanode and Alice are still waiting for their new clothes. It was a good cutscene with Alice just being like, why don't I get new clothes? I'm the last, am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one of two possibly useful books. One or two. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Jerun oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, the tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Gubal Library. 'Tis even less likely that knowledge of the unsondered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fortuno with knowledge of the Telophori and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us. Which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. I mean, I guess, like, Stola and the rest also don't have new clothes. They don't have... I'm sure they'll get, like, an Endwalker outfit upgrade at some point. Kryle has not been given any sort of clothing upgrades in the whole time. You labor for what feels like an age as Stola's research assistant. Oh no. You think we fans and obsess over the Amarot and Ancients information from Shadowbringers? You are mistaken. I guess out of all of these people, like Graha's got the like newest clothes, technically. But I did notice, like, when Kryle was coming up here again, that I took notice that Kryle is actually the only one who's got these goggles anymore. I think everybody else, like, got rid of them after their Realm Reborn stuff. Oh dear, you look exhausted. But what about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Nodded. Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a mammoth at the reference deck will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Okay. Alice is probably like, let's get out of here. Seat at the last stand. Ready for a tea break today? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down in the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables, and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. I knew it. Where's the thing? Over here. And yes, I mean the newest as in like the newest design. Hello, give me nuts. Wait, is this the nuts? It must be the nuts. Do my eyes deceive you, or are you Tsuze Dal? It is I. Well, as I live and breathe, it is you. Ha! I knew I'd be the first to track you down. Who's the guild ship's top hunter now, eh? Wait, you have heard of the guild ship hunts, yes? They are not so different from the hunts you're familiar with in Eorzea, as I understand it. I'd wager they're rather more challenging, but an adventurer of your caliber would never turn down a challenge, would you? No, you would not. Pray speak with Northota at the peristyle to register your interest at your earliest convenience. Yes, talk to the person next to the board. I've done this before. I am Northoder. Have you come to place a bounty on an unruly beast? Why, the scholar, you're Tsuze. I was half convinced I'd set the others an impossible task asking them to find you. The Gleaner's guild ship has begun posting hunt bills, you see. The hopes that capable individuals will take up arms to lighten our ever-increasing load. Unfortunately, capable individuals remain the sticking point. Few hailing from our fur polis are willing to take up arms, let alone able to stand against the more fearsome specimens. You, however, have the experience and the grit that we need. When I heard that you had arrived on our shores, it was music to my ears. You needn't work for free, of course. We've done our research, and the reward we offer are as fine as any you'll find abroad. The currency we employ is a relic of the times when Gleaner was a great deal less figurative, so you may find it somewhat eccentric, but it's as good as Gil here. Speaking of eccentric, it should be noted that the majority of our clients are scholars. You probably won't have heard of half the creatures they send you after, but I find it's best not to worry about that overmuch. Slay beasts, collect samples, try not to think about the long-term effects of touching said samples, and get paid. Simple, no? That being said, I wouldn't dream of throwing you in the deep end just yet. Let's have you start off with some junior marks, so you can get your feet wet. Is this level based? As in, am I gonna just unlock them all right now? You're now permitted to take bills from the junior marks, yes. Defeat monsters, yes. Exchange tokens, yes. New quests, yes. What? Associate guildship hunts will be available once you have fulfilled certain conditions within the main scenario quest for Endwalker. Okay, so not yet. Because in the previous expansions, you could just, like, if you were above the level, you could just get it. Sacks of wait, sacks of nuts? Wait, nuts again? What? Wait, why are you using the same nuts as on the first? This makes no sense. I demand an explanation to this. This doesn't make sense. Okay, so you can buy materia here. Radiant coding. For some recipes, I guess. Radiant twine. Unbowed orchestration bro. Is it this music? Striking dummy. Nugshing cat. Diabolus wings. Vine garoon. I don't have enough nuts for any of this stuff. What kind of gear do you have? 570? Lol. Is it good looking? Eh. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Might want to buy some of this stuff at some point. Okay, let's go on a date with LSA. As busy as ever, I see. How very Charlian that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for our customers. Actually, the crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Telafroi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Alize is now accompanying you. Is it gonna give me the tutorial anytime anyone joins the party? What? What was it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand, sir. We were simply wondering if you knew of the Telafroi. These enemies of peace have promised to end an end to all we hold dear and... Wait, you're the house leveler girl, aren't you? And this woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims, and here you are giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Suzanne. Hello. Okay, we go. By the way, I was slightly disappointed when it was Graha and Kryle, when they both joined and followed me around. I was hoping that it was more that Kryle would be following Graha, so that it would be a prop like Final Fantasy, 8 style proper line of people. But they were kind of both just following me. Yes, and I believe I have had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telophoroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Leveler. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master Fushnell that I was helping you... I see. We're sorry to have bothered you. Alize? You're the problem. Welcome, madam. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mistress Alize I see there? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the last stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons at the studio. That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Afnod had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything alright at home? It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is House Leveler. No matter how discreet Master Fushnell may have been, news of your family's doings never stay secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have questions and only Charlian has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me. I wish there was more I could do to help. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Charlene, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversations while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? Sure. I'll be a waiter. That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain where each of these dishes need to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelette is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them, you should see a Mikote gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck. I got it. I guess this is the by the water table. Tea set, omelette, oven-baked lobster. Why are they in order as well? Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. The teller for who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them, or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to ask about ritual arcane practice of the Sixth Astral Era, common or esoteric, then I'd be happy to talk your ear off. No. Ah, finally. 2468. Let's dig in, no time to waste. What? The Telophoroi? Ah yes, I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. The Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. Urbane Bunter with a smile. The oven-baked lobster. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. You have no idea how long I scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. The final days? This is the first I've heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of sorts. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Sharlayan. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Telophoroi make good on their audacious threats, then many uncatalogued rarities could be forever lost. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor, and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before, not like this. Hello, Squall, and thank you for the looks. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Interesting. They seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. But let's enjoy our drink somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and the wagging tongues. A little bit close. Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been, how being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. if I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently. They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos. A vast complex beneath the island. Charlian is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
So we go. A labyrinthine descent. We should tell the others what we learned about the Gleaners. Go ahead to Numenon, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. Probably want to do a teleport. I need the studium to open. The House of Splendors apparently is going to be here, based on what an NPC here said. So I can use my scripts. I have been collecting some purple scripts. Purple crafter scripts. Welcome back, Tze. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from the institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo. It certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Ischolab observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Tze and Alasdair learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Charlians know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telophoroi is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eosia's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it's a stretch to conclude that the Gleaner's recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves, and if we are lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. A fine idea. What should we expect down there? Anything would be better than burying my head in another dusty book. What should we expect down there? Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I would like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Bye. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is. Ready? Labyrinthus is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. Follow Alizé and try not to fall behind. Oh no! It's off at a brisk walk. Oh no! Alizé. Alizé? Move faster. No. No. Move faster. Faster. No. It's pleasant here among the trees. But we really should move along. Yes. Run. This is the worst thing. When an NPC not only moves like slow, but then they move at a different pace than your walking pace. Now we run. Try to keep up. Okay, now we are like matching speeds, but... Ah! Keep to the path. Okay, Alizé, I know how to run. Come on. We crossed this bridge. I could have also taken the Ethernet over there, you know? She's getting away. Fine. I'll switch to ninja so I can run faster. What's my ninja? Where's ninja? There's ninja. Up here. I'm fast. I'm ninja. I sprint. I jump. Ninja jump. Ninja jump. Oh no. Oh no. The rostra. Not far now. Yeah, see this Ethernet shot? I could have used that, Alizé. You fool. You absolute fool. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. Mm-hmm. The Hall of Artifice. A chocobo keep with no chocobos to keep. Well, my traveler might interest you in chocobo porter. And do not tell me this is your first time. Yes. You don't know where to go with chocobos. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone onto the lift and down we go. Wow.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
So this is not exactly what I was expecting. for you know, an underground cavern.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing.
That's what I just said, Crow.
But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma. It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Did that person have bunny ears?
They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Oh no, is Kral being summoned to the first?
Did you call to me just now? No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent. I'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
I'm sure too. Nothing bad will happen. So, if I know anything about anything, if I use Unrelenting Shout on this thing, we get a optional bonus boss battle against the dragon. Aporia. Spoilers. Sharlayan Hamlet. Spoilers. The Archaeon. Hello? Are you a bunny person? You here to help or give me more headaches? Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose. Your exchange with Ernville has taught you about exhausted gleaners. Why would you hover over them? To know what they are? Purchase weapons? No. Do you have any items? Nope. 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 Let me think. Let me think. The rare seeds should be item 1058, human seeds 1059, Snowballberry 1060. Were they 1061? Ah, my head feels like it's stuffed with mocha grass. Why more loads to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Kurthan carrots for the Gir Albanian carrots? What then? Large shipments coming in and out of Labyrinthus. Oh yeah, this is a outdoors area, so we can chocobo. Dubbin. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthus, you know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then, with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion. Taking stock. East. With some currents to gather again. Any luck to say? What tales did the gleaners have to tell? These tales. So the grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right, the Forum is definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthus upside down in the process. We would do well to learn more of what specifically the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game, Suzanne, I have an idea. Where am I crouching? Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation. In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting! Why would you say that in front of him? Kryle. Kryle, please. You wish to help me find the marmots? I have nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. The name's Erenbild, friend. Specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Naxian marmots is a trial I have no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at the present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course. Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on marmot. Or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern parts of the forest is all yours. Good luck. Bye. I'm gonna do a pro gamer move and switch over to Dancer here for exploring the forest. What are you? A troll? Level 80. Oh yeah, that's the starting level. Trolls. I'm listening to the new battle music here. Leave me alone. I'm listening to music. Chirp, squeak. Barely have you readied the sack when the grizzled mouse scampers off into the underbrush. Yeah. Hello, I'm here again. More coyotes to kill. Squeak. Ratsack. The rodent nimbly evades your grasp before once more disappearing into the trees. Ooh. It's fine. Was that ether current in there? North. It's in here. Up there. I see it. Hello? Excuse me? Fine. You die. No, I don't need to bring my chocobo out. I don't have, I need to buy a new onion to keep the choco leveling up. Boy. Got you now, mouse. Chirp. Squeak, squeak. More prepared for its speed this time, you succeed in closing the sack over your elusive quarry. Get wrecked, mouse. Why are these, like, sparkling? Are they... I wonder if they are like some sort of environmental things, or if they are actually just lights. If they are actually just lights, then I'm confused about why they sparkle. Otherwise, it's fine. It's fine. How do you fare? I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. Yeah, I got the one. Just the one. Ah, there's the odd marmot out. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in the holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who tasked you to capture them in the first place? What will you do with the marmots now? Who? Why, the authority in charge of Labyrinthus, now and in perpetuity. The same officials who've had us working day and night of late. The honorable members of the Forum. Who else? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those were the two conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. There you are, Suze. Is this the gleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots? Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway? I'm Kryle, of the Students of Baldessian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decision of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthus. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning. Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls. Other animals to capture and closures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Bye. Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we've confirmed that the order for this ambitious operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the Gleaners have not been informed of its purpose. I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun. The Forum contacted the Gleaners Guildship and put their people to this work some 4 days after the Chalafroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners kept abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthus and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but waiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophoroid's declaration was what set it all in motion. It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthus. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of a puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archaeon? From where there we can reach the lower... Dies. Kryle, what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. Nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to Archaeon. We follow the path east, through the forest where you were chasing after the mouse. Or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for. Is Kryle gonna die? Rip Kryle. Spoilers. Sorry. No, I mean, if they need to kill somebody off, it needs to be Alphino. It's gotta be Alphino. Narboy. Oh, that also looks like... Oh, I thought they were... What? Are they crafting? What are you doing crafting in the middle of... What are you doing? What's going on? What is going on? There's some mining over here. Okay, fine, I won't mine. I won't mine. I will go and touch this thing, though. Chocobo Keep. Which for some reason they still insist on keeping this system going. Oh, it's a wet aetheryte. Can you like reach it from here? Yeah, okay. No need to go into the fountain, I guess. Gemstones. Love it. Love it. Nothing. Behold, the Archaeon. I didn't actually behold it. As Numenor serves as Sharlayan's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture too is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a manner of speaking, the Archaeon contains a physical history of Sharlayan's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge. Oh, accidentally talked to Alice. Were you caught in mist on your way here? The sprayers keep the air humid, so the habitat feels as close as possible to a natural forest. Okay, thank you, Alice. I was wondering about that. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let's proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. Oh, the gemstone trader. Gemstones. Are they still the same gemstones? In the market for something on the rarer side? Got a whole village's worth of surplus from the Archaeon, some of which can even be yours for some bicolor gemstones. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thanks. Ooh, cards? Cards? Spot of Triple Triad sounds lovely. I can use the cards I stored here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find instructions for the game itself, so you'll have to teach me as we go along. One card. Let's go with deck 1. Who? Mist Dragon? Oh wait, I can't actually flip that. It's fine. Belladonna, Tokapchi, Calcabrina, and a troll. Oh, I can get a troll card from here, I guess. Wait, did I just... Oh no. I wasn't paying attention to the plus rule. Until it was too late. Order. Hmm. Easy. Troll card. Thank you. Oh, why is there a frog here? Greetings, we are here to peruse the Archaon's vaults. Peruse? You're clearly not gleaners, then. Might I ask your affiliation? We belong to the students of Baldessian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes. That would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I am afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. What? So this is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. At that time it will be too late. We were so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let's step outside for a moment, shall we? Students of Baldessian. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. It is likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. I mean, at least you gotta give it to them that they do always come up with new ways to make you do chores. Side quests. Bone-weary worker. Students of your Momian. Your Momian? Was that? Take you down on the lift with me? Sorry, but no chance. Not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out the gate, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with it, whatever it is he is doing. Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archaon, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Squeal, squeal. Oddest little squeal, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archaon is open again. Who? Oh. Oh, it's one of these boxes. There's like one other thing right here. No, south. Further south. Can I discover it from here without falling down? No. Not a chance. Don't kill me. I know I'm just a little level 67 dancer, but don't kill me. Oh, it's our friend again. Our new friend, buddy friend, Labyrinth Screamer. I need to kill you for your nuts. Give me your nuts. Need to kill another one. Get over here. I need your nuts. Tree nuts? Barely even worth it. I mean, something I'm actually looking forward to doing with opening up the new zones here is that I can finally join in on like proper hunts. Is there anybody doing hunts now? No. But like proper hunts because previously there's been a bit of a problem that if they go into Endwalker zones, then I cannot join. Can I Skyrim horse this? Come on. Skyrim! Skyrim! Oh, 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 Skyrim! Hello. Oh. Quiet, you're frightened away. Who? It's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is close. Very close. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm afraid today is the hornbill. His feathers are green, and his cry a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. Shooting minigame. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Green and caw. Search your surroundings and shoot. It's not that one. Is it that one? Or that one? I need one of them to go caw. Nope. Is it you? Are you green? You're green as well. Missed. There we go.
Shot.
Nope. Voice acting.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
We could just like jump.
Climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down.
You like that? That's kind of what I was thinking about.
This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Bye.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Let's see if Kryl can live through this. Rain? Why do you have simulated rain in here? I mean, I guess it's pretty important for, you know, nature and stuff, but can't you have like a rain system that specifically detects where people are and just like have a dry area around them? Was that Troglophile's depth? Let's go and get an exploration on that. Zoop. So, I mean, I guess there's like actual things blocking, yeah, you from jumping down. I imagine probably once you unlock flying here, you can probably get up and down like that. This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. It's faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Horse chestnut headgear. The medial circuit. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. Bye. I mean, it doesn't seem that secret, but I guess, well, Kryl didn't know about it. Kryl knows everything. Surveying? Why am I stopping here to survey so that I can fight some enemies? Why don't I just walk? Let's do some holies. Holy threes. Holy 2 is a lie created by the magic industry to sell you more holies. Mog check. Mog check. Any more things to fight? I gotta say, Holy 3 is definitely an improvement from Holy in terms of the visuals. It is still pretty flashy, but it's not nearly as bad as Holy is. I feel like one thing that would help with that, and also with another thing, is that I really wish you could zoom out more. I don't understand why it like stops the zoom out at this point, because there's also a lot of like raid bosses that are huge that you can't really appreciate with this like zoom level. They'll just be filling up the whole screen without you being able to see anything. And I don't think there is any sort of like... Is there some sort of setting to zoom in, zoom out even more? You can change your field of view, I guess. Yes. FOV. Where's that? Display? No. Graphics? No. Other? No. Character. Control, no. UI, maybe. Control, after all. He's got these camera speed, no. Trans speed, no. Angle is just this angle thing. Third person camera angle. Well, no, this isn't it. This is this. Which, I mean, does help with you being able to see more up. But it still doesn't really help you out with that. I mean, I know you can move. You can change the field of vision in the camera mode. Anyways, I do think it should just like let you zoom out more. Regardless, especially for like raid situations, when you're just like playing around like this, then it's nicer to be able to zoom in and kind of be more present here. But then when you gotta see like a lot of stuff, then it's best to zoom out. And what are you? Who? Storsey. Okay. You continue being you. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident, even Kryle. Nothing of consequence, at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Erenville's assumption holds true, the specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. We will see what we see. What's this thing? Hello? Logisticon Alpha. I'm not supposed to be here. Bye. Stray garlics. Stray queen and stray egg. Oh no. No. Stray tomato. No, don't kill me. Stray Corrigan. All the mandragoras. Don't eat me. Oh yeah, I was just reminded by seeing Reaper there that I'm really not looking forward to the fact that Xenos is still around. Oh, these other grapes. Yeah, like so I really didn't like Xenos in Stormblood. I feel like in the Shadowbringers patches, Xenos was a little bit better just because of being, you know, a funny foil for Daniel, but otherwise I'm like, why do we have to have this character? Couldn't you pick anyone else? Any of the other villains to bring back? Why this one? Maybe they get better. Aha! Now I know where we are. This is Mariel Agronomics. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed the Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might take it to the Agora. Food so exotic, you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. It is possible they know something of the Forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same, or cast about for useful clues. Oh, there's a train. Wait, are you going for... I'm gonna join the train. I'm gonna go kill the thing. We're gonna go. Go. Quickly. Don't kill it. No. I want my sacks of nuts. Whoa, it's doing some big AoEs. There's a lot of people here. There's a big train. Got 4 nuts. Beautiful. Worth it. I always forget how to remove the flag. Is it Alt? Click? No. Shift click something? Control click something? I mean, Control click does that, but how do I... I need to click on the flag. Yeah, Alt click on the flag to remove it. There we go. I also got some elegant tomestones. Wait a minute, I got tomestones of a new type that I haven't gotten before. So astronomy is this... Oh, no, yeah. Astronomy is the... Yeah, because it's got the red and green. And then I got poetics. Yee. 1 out of 450 this week. I haven't done any daily dungeoning. Christmas tomes. Kryl? What are you doing? A field full of ripe vegetables being left to rot on the vine. A single picker hard at work. Clearly procuring readily available fresh food is not the forum's priority. Clearly not. Have you not put it together already, Kryl? You dummy. Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors, not with the use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? The mineshaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward this tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the forum has us filling order lists a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Wait. I just got it. I just got it. I just got it. I just got it. Okay. So here's what happens. Because I know that this this expansion, like, is connected to the moon. What's going on is that the forum has discovered that the world's gonna blow up, and they believe that the world's gonna blow up, so they are escaping to the moon. Aha! I thought that the baddies would be on the moon, but I see. It's the forum that are running away to the moon. They have built a spaceship. Probably not down here. Sometimes my genius knows no bounds. At first, I actually did think that they were just going somewhere like into the to the south, but then I was thinking like, how would it help them if the whole planet is being destroyed? But aha, they think they can escape. But then we will prove to them there is no escape, because we're gonna follow them and we're gonna beat them up. I don't know why, but yeah. The deep south. Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence the stack of crates atop the hills over there. Guards holding the lot up that slope was a job and a half. Only problem is, you can't grow Final Fantasy XIV grapes on the moon. Beautiful grapes. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Can I? Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled, a region in the south of Ilsabad. Okay, I mean, they are talking about the south a lot here, so maybe they are actually going to the south and not the moon. I don't know. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for a myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. It used to be called Corvus before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amernus. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. Uh-huh. Ishtola does not want to help us. What you looking at? The stack of crates on the hill is going below. That sounds promising. I'll gather the others and join you there. Oh, okay. Stola, you can't see any you can't see any crates from there. What are you doing? The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports. I have never seen flowers before.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
Who?
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Okay. Bye, random person. Cool story. Why Matoya's theme all of a sudden? Is Ishtola gonna do some big magics?
A flower that reacts to one's feelings. Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Shola is big magics.
While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaeum? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Alpha, no.
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Oh no, Kryle's about to die.
Kryle?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
Heard none of it.
You agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Reach who? Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. We were following Erenville, weren't we? Yes, and the marvelous plan to eavesdrop secretly, stealthily, subtly on this person is to have this whole group go in there at once. Yes, excellent, very good. Is Kryle still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. Erenville was headed westward along the path outside the Archaeon. Come, we can still catch him. Yes, running is going to help as well. Oh, by the way, I think the current was actually nearby here. Around here. Do I have to jump? South east. Oh. Pff. Of course. Of course. It's never easy. Southeast, 392 Yelms. Okay, so there's 10 ether currents in here. Where am I going? Further west still, or... Yeah, okay, so it's gonna be over on that side, down there, I guess. Stealth. Hold a moment. I have an idea. Stealth. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. Aye, if I were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Ishtola? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hippity hop, my little toads! Ishtola, what? No! No! Goodness! I did not consent to this. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not. It will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of Predator as you would learn anything of note. Ah, which reminds me, where the creatures were hereabouts, in that form you are essentially defenseless. You've changed into a toad! No, I have not. I have been changed into a toad. You must remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objectives. Return from your transfiguration. I did not consent. Stand still and I shall recast the spell. No! The transformation should last long enough for you to find and spy upon Erenville. Yeah. What up, Kryle? I'd have enjoyed being a toad for a little while, if only for the change of pace. But Ishtola is right, I'm too preoccupied with other matters. Croak? Ribbit, ribbit? Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit! Alpha Toad and... That's it. I'm quitting the game. That's the end of it. It's over. I'm unsubbing from the game right now. Alpha Toad and Alitoad are now accompanying you. Yes. Let's go. Wait, can I do emotes? They aren't like grayed out. No, apparently not. Oh, there's a thing to talk to my frog friends over here. Or is that just like in general this whole thing? Nope, it is this one. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Alpha Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand that he is telling you this is the wrong way. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Alitoad turns to face to the north. Perhaps she's suggesting you cross the bridge. What if I want to go this way? We're going this way. Yakals. I can do it. I can do it. I miss the days when Ishtola was a nice white mage. Conjurer, I suppose. Not an evil black mage toading me. They should still have their ribbons, the blue and red ribbon, in their toad forms.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say
and go to the moon.
But I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Very inconspicuous.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
How did you know it was us?
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. There's a momentous duty the Forum agent mentioned. Sharlayan has been called to actions, and the Telophoros declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzeus' request for aid. I blew it? It was Athenor. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Stola and Kral for the moment, see what they think of this. No, don't go back to Stola. You'll be turned into frogs again. Stola is being mean. Mean to us. Oh no, I discovered it too early. Green Archon. Hello. Ooh, I need to kill these snapweeds, but... No, don't kill me. Don't kill me. I need to... Ether compass. Southwest, okay. Nothing around here. White mage. Probably need to kill at least 2 of these. Hey, I need to kill exactly 2 of them. Three sacks of nuts. Fate. Bio pellets. Is Kral dead? Kral? 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 Kral's dead. Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then? Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kral, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm. She was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. I'm wondering if it has something to do with, what's this? Oh, of course, it's a ethereal current quest. But I'm wondering if it's got something to do with the fact that, like, we got confirmation the Heidelin can't pull us anymore into the, like, you know, look at this big crystal I have thing. So Kryl would also not be able to hear Heidelin and would be kind of worried about that, maybe? Maybe? That's my guess. Where were the flowers? Up here? Are you dead yet?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Are you hearing voices again?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Kryl?
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
Who?
Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will.
Not really. I have to follow the main quest.
Will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction.
I'm not allowed to go into other zones before I unlock them.
Seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
Can I tell Heidelin I don't really need these, like, random pep talks?
All too brief. Already she seems so far away.
Apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress. You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Alize, stop killing people. Again. This is the 5th time this week.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
I mean, to be fair, you are snooping around here.
Our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
And executed.
But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Yes.
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Are they gonna throw us into jail and then we lose all our clothes and then we get new clothes? Well, I mean, my NPC friends get new clothes. I didn't even get a new clothes from Tataru after Shadowbringers. Like, what's that all about? I feel cheated. Close to Cerulean. The Viera can't wear the hats.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
Yeah, wait a minute. Kral's hood.
Would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
Is this the first time Kral's been unhooded?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance.
Is that Kral's new outfit? Outfit upgrade.
Satisfied with our decision, have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large.
Very true.
Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
Did I lose my headwear as well? Or is it just Kral?
You tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
I can't really tell if I have my headband on or not.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Yeah, I mean, they do force off headgear usually in the more, like, important... Yeah, I don't have it.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
They found the end to walk.
If you had seen...
Yes, we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this,
did someone just force choke that person? Or what?
abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuner, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
You have a name.
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
You didn't even look behind you.
Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Bye. And no, this top, it's the same as hold on, how does it show the I think if I do this and this, it's the same same design as this one, but the glamour is just from the white version of it. So I don't need to dye it, because if I were to dye this thing, then it's kind of changes the color of the whole thing. No, wait, it doesn't. Okay, well, anyways, no point in dyeing it white when there's already a white version to turn it into. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Sharlayan. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. Is father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alfinor, Alice, it is you. Who? When I heard you'd be dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. But mother? Millions Leveler at your service. And you fine people must be the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you are here. Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I'm well aware that you and Master Fortunal are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Ah, new clothes! New clothes! The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go, visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure we... Suze, what do you think? Suze? The Suze Adar? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea. I insist that you join us. Nodders. But we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Suze, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to their estate. And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. Bye. I think it was pretty lazy for them to actually just like remove the hood instead of, you know, putting it down properly. Because it doesn't look like it's like a separate thing. It looks like it's part of the whole thing, so it's weird. Apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say it, Suze? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Fine, if we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. I mean, never mind. The Leveler estate is that way. Straight down the stairs. Come on. Alfred and Alice are accompanying me. Yes, yes. Does it give you the tutorial every time? Why? Why? Why would it do that? It's as bad as with custom deliveries. Every time you start a new quest for a new custom delivery, before you have delivered your first thing, it gives you like 5-6 messages explaining you about the custom deliveries every time. And if you don't deliver that first thing, then it'll give it to you again. It's terrible. If Alice had been here, I would expect some Warrior of Light posters. Like recently. As children, Alfnode and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meeting ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment. Came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. Now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. I mean, you didn't really like... It wasn't really consensual travel there. We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphanode though. Even back then he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it. Which would explain how I came to swim like an orc, and he sink like a stone. Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alice had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly, so I tried casting the simple restorative spell I had only just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed, the joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. Cool. Bye. Hello, Mother. And here you are at last. Please, do come in. Those are some massive doors. The doors in this game are always huge. I think the thing is, because it's like a third-person game first and foremost, so they have to make everything kind of massive so the camera can fit. House Leveler in all its grandeur. Scion headquarters must seem squalid indeed, or just admiring the craftsmanship. Yeah, you don't like the Rising Stones, do you?
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Oh.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
It's gotta be new clothes.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
But when is Tataru gonna give me new clothes?
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Uh-huh. I'm not surprised. Especially with Alice.
For you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Sure, let me tell you about a dimensional hopping adventure. Or that time-traveling adventure with Alexander. Yeah, I'm disappointed Tataru didn't give us anything from Shadowbringers.
Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
Perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become.
It would have actually been funny if they were given the same outfits again.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
A gun? Oh, Alphino becomes a wait, scholar?
Wait.
No.
Are these
sage? That thing.
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field.
Alize is still stuck as a red mage.
Armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry. I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Imagine if there's like a short time skip in one of the expansions. Like, it could have actually happened in Shadowbringers, where Alphino and Alice just suddenly age up a little bit and grow to grow to adult size. Now where's my clothes? Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Good, because I don't know what it is. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us, these gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Our companions also need some new clothes, though. Because they are still in Shadowbringer's clothes. And Kryl is, of course, in Kryl clothes. Final Fantasy V music. So I guess this is the end of the quest line. Enjoyed your time with the levelers, I hope? I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once you've scouted out the situation in Thavnir, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move. Okay. I guess we can start off with the Thavnir stuff as well here. Not being in those clothes long. Yeah, but I mean they've been. That's the previous expansion clothes that they have. They need to get their Endwalker clothes. Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. My library, oops. Not to our knowledge, we are associates of Kryl of the students of Baldessian. That lie doesn't really work right now anymore. Thancred, please. We seek passage to Thavnir and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether running along the lifestream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? I would tell you I have done similar things before. A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly? That changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user needs to not attune to these aetherytes, but the aetherytes themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherytes, one has been installed here in Sharlayan and the other over in Yedlihimad, a port town in Thavnir. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Radzat-Han, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we are to test these aetherytes. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherytes were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true. And far be it from me to worry about such things. But do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the live stream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Krile truly knows how to pick 'em. We are dead. If I might change the subject, our Master Wilfson and Mistress Bluida are not present today. Oh, you didn't hear. They recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. A teleportation to the moon? I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to the preparations and head outside to the Aetheryte Plaza. I'll be along shortly. So I was just reminded of a very, very interesting piece of dialogue that happened outside of this place. I think I was talking to... actually, I did take a screenshot of it. Let's see. What was the actual dialogue? Yes, it's Graha. Graha says, I was pleasantly surprised when Mistress Tataru informed me that the Scions are reimbursed for transportation costs as part of our duties. But I find old habits hard to break. That and I'd rather not be bothered filling out the necessary paperwork. I have never been told I could do some paperwork to get money for teleportation fees. So I'm pretty sure Tataru owes me like a million gil in teleportation fees. Voice acting.
Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please.
Thancred goes in first and is never heard of again. Ends up naked in the wilderness again.
Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
Why? Also, why did Estinian get early access to this place? Zoop. Don't zoom in on the textures, please. In that scene, why couldn't they put in a better texture for that map? Like, please.
Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between two peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay for a time.
I'm alive.
Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have?
I am dead.
What chance? Against such an insidious foe.
Pretty colorful place here.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
It should have changed to me playing as Estinian.
There was a note
Doing a quest.
Don't let Estinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Not as bad as Alphino. Heroic resolve. You managed to wheel yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Justinian in time? Oh no. Oh no. The horrible stakes here. Justinian. Can I make it in time there? I cannot. What? Get me to the Aetheryte. Ether sickness. Tuning. Bye, Estinian. Wait, who's that? What are you? In the back. I don't know. Anyways. That is where we will leave off today, though. So it'll be interesting to see Thavnir and then the rest of the stuff, of course. All around Eorzea. So yeah, obviously today was no D&D. D&D should be back next Sunday. Probably. I don't think there's any reason why we wouldn't have D&D then. So anyways, you're not gonna play any more Final Fantasy 14 off stream. Yes, I am. Yeah, I will continue it. Continue it off stream. Yeah. But yeah, I will see you all then. And another time with. I'm not sure if we'll, because I was saying we were going to play some more Civ, so I think we might do that. But there was also something else. I forget now. I forget now. There was something else, anyways. But anyways, yeah, we'll maybe do a Civ stream or something. Oh yeah, Overwatch was what I was thinking about. Though I think the season change is actually like not next week, but the week after that. But yeah, I probably won't be streaming Final Fantasy 14 more than this. Maybe a gathering stream or something at some point. But anyways, that's it for today. See you all. Bye.